Whose Bones? Written by spookybookiwrite. Well, it's that time of the year again. I've been dragged out from underneath the house and put into a false grave in their front lawn. 40 years. 40 years they've done this to me. Not to be corny, but these old bones are tired. My only remaining wish is to be put to rest. All of the pain and seething itch for revenge has faded. I don't even remember how I died anymore. Time has made me aware that I am no longer supposed to be among the living. My place is with the dead. Ah, here they come already. Witches, ghouls, zombies, goblins, princesses, heroes, bloody ghosts. Donkeys, the lot of them. How dare they mock death? How dare they curse us damned with joy on their faces? Wait. Just wait. They're young now, sure. No aching bones or wrinkly faces. But youth is not everlasting. Sooner or later, they will all join me down here in the dirt. They will rue these days when they mocked eternity. The lucky among them will have a proper burial, be put to rest in a comfortable casket, surrounded by graves of their peers. Not me, though. No, not me. I am forsaken to be disturbed every year from my eternal slumber, to be ripped from the ground beneath this accursed house and put on display for all to see. My body long rotted away. My bones are all that remain. To be ogled at by many passerby. Oh, how realistic their decorations are, they'll say. If only they knew my suffering. Scorched by the sun, frozen by the snow, desecrated by dogs, pelted with cut grass. This is my burden. Perhaps one day I will finally rest. Maybe one of those mutts will take me away and bury me. Bury me and forget I was even there so that I may cease. Not the dignified burial I hoped for, but it will suffice. That would be infinitely better than this current hell. At least my yearly suffering is almost at an end. Though I know my 11 months of rest will pass in the blink of an eye, it is still much needed. Until next year, you scoundrels. I bid you a not at all happy Halloween.
The Bone Fairy. Written by Zephrynn. I settled nervously into bed. My left arm propped up on a pillow, a hot pink cast encased it up to my elbow. But Mom, what about the Bone Fairy? I asked as she reached for the light switch. She sighed. I'd always been a nervous child, anxious about the smallest of things. Remember when you woke up and caught me putting money under your pillow for your tooth, and we finally told you that the tooth fairy doesn't exist? The Bone Fairy doesn't exist. It's made up. People used to tell kids that the Bone Fairy would come and eat their bones if they got broken, to make kids be careful because they couldn't fix bones easily back then. You'll be fine, I promise. And with that, she flipped off the light and shut the door, drowning me in darkness. My anxiety eased by my trust in my mother. I quickly drifted off to sleep. Sometime later, minutes or hours, I'm not sure, but I woke heart pounding. I couldn't move. I could barely breathe. A heavy weight on my chest pinning me to the bed. My eyes were strangely adjusted to the dark and I stared, unable to pull my gaze away from the small, rotund figure squatting on my chest. It was about the size of a small child, though absurdly fat, almost comically round. Its pale skin glistened faintly, seeming to glow with its own dim light. Small, crooked, dragonfly-like wings beat madly on its back, buzzing incessantly over the sharp staccato of my heart like a hive of angry bees. They looked incapable of carrying the creature they were attached to, comically small and delicate in contrast. Its eyes were eerie, flat silvery discs peering down at me in the darkness. It smiled at me as if suddenly aware of my consciousness, and its mouth dominated its small round face. Rows of sharp, jagged teeth, stained dark and dripping with saliva, peeked from behind its thick, cracked lips. I couldn't even scream as it raised my cast-shrouded arm and bit down. The heavy, meaty crack and crunch of my fingers, nauseating as it slowly ate them, and my arm over the next several hours. I'm not sure when I finally passed out, but when I woke, all I had left was a large silver coin and a badly scarred stump where my arm should have been. I'm in therapy now, and they tell me that it's not healthy to make up crazy stories about my missing arm and that I need to come to terms with it. I lost it when I was a baby, they say. They say it had to be amputated when I was born because of some birth defect. They don't remember my arm, but I do. I know the bone fairy is real. Be careful out there. You don't want to be the next one the bone fairy visits.